Manufacturing industrial revolution, from the small shops to factories. Changes in electric technology, transportation, different way of life for many. Steam engines are working, more machines are turning for an economic benefit, but the city's now overcrowded.
Audio Jungle.
The Industrial Revolution started in 1760 and lasted until sometime between 1820 and 1840.
The point of the Industrial Revolution was to transition to new manufacturing processes.
The Industrial Revolution began in Great Britain and spread to places like Belgium, Germany, northern France, the United States, and Japan.
Everyone wanted to be involved and wanted to create something. For example, the cotton gin by Eli Whitney. This helped speed up the process of picking cotton.
Today, we'll be meeting with him to talk about his cotton gin and how it affected the revolution. How did the cotton gin affect the Industrial Revolution?
It helped increase cotton production in the United States, and it made cotton more profitable.
How did the cotton gin affect slavery?
The cotton gin reduced the labor of removing seeds. It did not reduce the need for enslaved labor to grow and pick the cotton. Cotton growing became so profitable for enslavers that it greatly increased their demand for both land and enslaved labor.
What was the negative impact of the cotton gin?
The long-lasting effect it had on the institution of American slavery. The Industrial Revolution moved people away from their humanity as they dealt with unsanitary and unsafe living and working conditions.
The Industrial Revolution moved people towards opportunity. As technology made travel easier and manufacturing jobs gave need to a middle class.
Most people moved in hope they would find work, but others moved in search of a better way in life. Some had no choice. Transportation was a punishment for some crimes. What other products did you invent and when?
Interchangeable parts for weapons like help mass produce from a factory in New Haven. In milling, we used this material from a workpiece using like rotary cutters that were like, it could drill, bore, and cut an array of materials.
It's nice. What was the significance of interchangeable parts?
Interchangeable parts allowed relatively unskilled workers to create product at larger amounts and quickly at a lower cost, and made repair and replacement parts infinitely easier.
Very nice. Positive effects of the Industrial Revolution included increase in wealth, the production of goods, and the standard of living.
People had access to healthier diets, better housing, and cheaper goods. In addition, education increased during the Industrial Revolution.
With all of our positive effects, there are also some negative effects, including poor working conditions, poor living conditions, low wages, child labor, and pollution.
Here are some ways the Industrial Revolution moved people. The Industrial Revolution moved people to prosperous cities and states so that they could get involved in new businesses.
Those new businesses brought money into the home. They also moved people together due to this land being available.
To further explain, the land was being used to build factories to keep producing all the new ideas. Lastly, it moved people closer to minerals so they can gain riches in that category. How would you say you were significant to the Industrial Revolution?
I invented the cotton gin, which helped push the United States into the Industrial Revolution. And it also helped create a larger production of guns, especially muskets.
What's the most revolutionized city or state in the U.S.?
The cities that grew most during the industrialization were New York, Chicago, and Philadelphia. New York grew to 3.5 million.
Wow.
Tune in next week for another episode of the MBF Show.
Lastly, it moved people closer.
And a black chaplet.
What a swing at!
She's so perfect in her own little world. We built the foundation, everything I want in a girl.
Manufacturing industrial revolution, from the small shops to factories.